20 weird things about Japan that shocked the whole world. Travel documentary. Imagine stripping down to a loincloth in the bitter cold, all for the sake of good luck. Welcome to the Hadaka Matsuri, or the Naked Festival, a unique tradition held in Japan. This festival sees throngs of men dressed only in their loincloths, bearing the winter chill. The purpose? To pray for good luck and fortune. The festival has been celebrated for over 500 years, making it an integral part of Japan's rich cultural tapestry. The participants, known as Shinotoko, are believed to absorb bad luck from those who touch them during the festival, thus bringing them good fortune instead. In a country known for its decorum and reserve, the Hadaka Matsuri stands as a stark contrast, a testament to the diversity and depth of Japanese culture. So, would you be brave enough to participate in the Naked Festival? Hold on to that thought as we dive into more of Japan's unique characteristics. Have you ever complained about working overtime? In Japan, putting in over 80 hours a week is not uncommon. Now, let's delve into the phenomenon known as karoshi. This term literally translates to death from overwork. It's a serious issue that has been plaguing the Japanese workforce for decades. The intense work culture in Japan often pushes employees to prioritize their jobs above all else, leading to long hours, little sleep, and immense stress. This can result in severe health problems and, in extreme cases, even death. The government has been trying to address this issue, but the workaholic culture is deeply ingrained. For many Japanese people, the commitment to their job is seen as a matter of personal honor and societal expectation. However, it's essential to understand that this way of working is not sustainable and can have serious repercussions on physical and mental health. Remember to take a break. The Japanese work culture isn't for everyone. In a world where being social is the norm, over 700,000 people in Japan choose to withdraw from society. This is known as the hikikomori phenomenon, a term that directly translates to pulling inward or being confined. Hikikomori are individuals, primarily young adults, who choose to isolate themselves from society, often spending months or even years at a time within their homes. This is not a simple case of introversion or a preference for solitude. It's a complex issue, often driven by a mix of factors, including societal pressures, mental health concerns, and the challenges of the modern world. The impact on Japanese society is significant. With such a large number of individuals disengaging, the ripple effects touch everything, from the economy to the fabric of community life. Yet, despite its prevalence, the hikikomori phenomenon remains largely misunderstood, often stigmatized and overlooked. The hikikomori phenomenon is a stark reminder of the pressures of modern society. Did you know Japan experiences about 1,500 earthquakes every year? It might sound surprising, but it's an everyday reality for those living in the land of the rising sun. Situated along the Pacific Ring of Fire, Japan is no stranger to the Earth's tectonic tantrums. This volatile location, where several tectonic plates meet, is the main reason why the country is subject to so many quakes. But Japan hasn't just learned to live with these tremors. It has adapted in extraordinary ways. The country is a global leader in earthquake preparedness, from its early warning systems to the engineering marvels that allow its buildings to sway with the shocks rather than against them. Japan also uses its unique seismic intensity scale, developed by the Japan Meteorological Agency, to measure earthquakes. This scale focuses on the effects of a quake at specific locations, providing crucial information for disaster management. Living in Japan is like living on a roller coaster, always ready for the next shake. The next time you're upset about a train delay, remember the Shinkansen in Japan. This high-speed rail line, which zips across the country, is renowned for its punctuality. In fact, the average delay on the Shinkansen is less than a minute. Yes, you heard that right. Less than 60 seconds. This punctuality isn't just about efficiency. It's also a reflection of the Japanese culture's deep respect for time and the people's time. In Japan, being late is considered disrespectful and a sign of poor planning. This ethos carries over into their public transportation system, where everything runs like clockwork. The Shinkansen, in particular, has taken this to a whole new level, setting a global standard for punctuality. So, the next time you find yourself tapping your foot impatiently on a platform, think of the Shinkansen. It's a testament to Japan's commitment to efficiency, respect, and above all, time. In Japan, time is truly of the essence. Tears are not a sign of weakness in Japan, but a tool for stress relief. In a culture where expressing emotions in public is often seen as a stigma, Japan has found a unique way to help its people cope with stress and pressure: cry workshops. These are special sessions held in various settings, from schools to corporate offices, where participants are encouraged to shed tears as a form of emotional release. These workshops are part of a broader social effort to challenge the traditional stoicism that is often expected in Japanese society. They're led by tear teachers who use emotional movies, heartfelt stories, and even onions to get the waterworks going. The aim is simple: to create a safe space where people can let go of their inhibitions, share their feelings, and find comfort in the collective experience of crying. In Japan, a good cry might just be the best way to handle stress. While Japan boasts a low divorce rate, extramarital affairs are another story. In a society where marriage is often seen as a duty or a societal obligation rather than a union of love, many Japanese people seek emotional or physical satisfaction outside their marriages. This is not a hushed topic, but rather an open secret, as the high rate of extramarital affairs in the country is widely recognized. Cultural and societal factors contribute significantly to this phenomenon. The Japanese work culture, which demands long hours and dedication, often strains relationships, leaving little room for romance or intimacy at home. As a result, many seek solace outside their marital bonds. Additionally, the societal pressure to maintain a harmonious family image often discourages couples from pursuing divorce, even when love has faded. This paradoxical scenario, where a low divorce rate coexists with a high rate of affairs, reveals a complex aspect of Japanese society. In Japan, marriage and love seem to be two different things. In a country with a high cost of living, it's surprising to find almost no beggars in Japan. This is not a mere coincidence, but a deep-rooted cultural phenomenon. Japan's culture has always placed a high value on self-respect and the samurai spirit. This spirit encourages resilience and self-reliance, which is why you'll rarely find people begging on the streets. Japan's societal structure also plays a significant role. The country's well-organized social welfare system ensures that everyone has access to basic needs, making begging less likely. Moreover, the Japanese people's inherent sense of community compels them to support each other, further reducing the need for begging. It's also worth noting the cultural pride that influences this behavior. In Japan, it's considered dishonorable to display one's struggles publicly. Therefore, Even in the face of financial hardship, many choose to endure silently, keeping their difficulties to themselves. In Japan, pride and self-respect often outweigh financial hardships. Organized crime syndicates are not only present in Japan, they're legal. Welcome to the world of Yakuza, Japan's homegrown mafia. With a history tracing back to the 17th century, these groups are deeply embedded in Japanese society. But these aren't your typical gangsters. Yakuza groups operate openly, with registered offices and even fan magazines. They're engaged in various activities, often on the shady side of the law, from debt collection to protection rackets. But with their strict codes of conduct and complex hierarchies, they maintain a certain order. It's a paradoxical situation where these groups are both feared and respected. They're seen as necessary evils that fill voids in society, helping to maintain a semblance of peace. They even participate in community activities and disaster relief efforts. The Yakuza, like many aspects of Japanese society, are a blend of tradition and modernity, order and chaos. In Japan, even the underworld has a certain order. In Japan, sleeping in a capsule isn't science fiction. It's a cost-effective way to travel. This country, known for its innovative design and efficient use of space, has birthed a unique accommodation phenomenon, the capsule hotel. These hotels are a testament to Japan's ingenuity in addressing space constraints and urban density. Capsule hotels are made up of individual pods, small, cocoon-like rooms, just big enough for a single person to sleep in. Each pod is stacked on top of another, much like a honeycomb, creating a compact but functional living space. The design is minimalistic, focusing on the essentials: a bed, a light, and sometimes a small TV or radio. Despite their small size, these hotels offer communal facilities like bathrooms, lockers, and sometimes even a lounge or dining area. They're a popular choice among budget travelers, locals who've missed the last train home, or those wanting to experience a unique aspect of Japanese culture. Japan's capsule hotels are a testament to its innovative approach to space saving. In Japan, catching some Z's on the subway isn't frowned upon. It's the norm. Now, before you start questioning the safety or comfort of such a practice, let's dive into the reasons behind it. The Japanese culture is characterized by a strong work ethic, often leading to long hours at the office. As a result, many Japanese people find themselves struggling to squeeze in enough sleep. Enter the subway nap. This practice isn't just a testament to Japan's safe and reliable public transportation. It's also a reflection of the country's respect for personal space. Even in a crowded subway car, people will generally keep to themselves, allowing their fellow passengers to rest undisturbed. And, while it might seem unusual to some, it's a practical way for busy Japanese people to make the most of their downtime. So, next time you're in Japan and you see someone snoozing on the subway, remember, in Japan, every moment can be an opportunity for a power nap. In a society that values community, Japan embraces solitude in a unique way. The land of the rising sun has a culture where engaging in activities alone is not only accepted, but also quite common. This isn't due to an antisocial tendency, but rather a reflection of the deep-seated cultural respect for personal space and individual freedom. Solo dining, for instance, is a widespread practice. Restaurants offer counter seats for those who prefer to eat alone, creating an opportunity for self-reflection or simply enjoying a meal at one's own pace. Watching movies alone is another popular activity, allowing individuals to immerse themselves in the cinematic experience without any distractions. Even karaoke, a typically group-oriented activity in many cultures, has a solo variant in Japan, with karaoke boxes providing private rooms for individuals to express themselves freely. So, in Japan, being alone doesn't necessarily mean being lonely. It's a conscious choice that reflects a unique aspect of the culture. In Japan, Valentine's Day is a day when women shower men with gifts, especially chocolates. This tradition offers an interesting twist on the Western norm where men are typically the ones giving gifts. This unique practice began in the mid-20th century when a confectionery company misinterpreted Western Valentine's customs and marketed chocolates for women to give to men. The idea took off, and it has been a custom ever since. The chocolates given are not just any chocolates. They're often handmade and can range from simple, heartfelt creations to elaborate gourmet masterpieces. This practice is not limited to romantic relationships either. Women also give chocolates, known as giri choco, to male colleagues, friends, and family members as a sign of appreciation. A month later, on March 14th, known as White Day, men reciprocate by giving gifts to the women who gifted them chocolates on Valentine's Day. In Japan, Valentine's Day is a sweet reversal of roles. Japan's waste sorting system is so complex, it could be a subject in school. In a country where precision is key, even the trash has its place. From bottles to cans, and even different types of paper, every item has a specific bin it calls home. It's not just about recycling, it's about meticulous classification. In some areas, waste sorting can reach up to 45 categories, each with its own collection day. It's a system that demands dedication, but it's also a testament to Japan's commitment to environmental sustainability. However, it's not all rosy. Despite the intricate sorting, a large portion of the waste still ends up being incinerated together due to practicalities. This raises questions about the effectiveness of such a complex system. Yet, the commitment to sorting waste is deeply ingrained in Japanese culture, reflecting a broader respect for cleanliness and order. In Japan, waste disposal is an art form. In Japan, couples often meet only once or twice a month. This might seem unusual to many of us, but in the land of the rising sun, it's quite common. Japan is renowned for its work culture, which often prioritizes professional commitments over personal relationships. This phenomenon is not just limited to couples in long-distance relationships, but also those living in the same city. The reason behind this is the intense work schedule that many Japanese people maintain. It's not uncommon for employees to work late into the evening, leaving little time for personal activities or relationships. This doesn't mean that love is less valued in Japan. On the contrary, it's highly treasured. But in a culture that highly values diligence and dedication to one's job, romantic relationships often take a different shape. This practice may seem peculiar to outsiders, but it's just another facet of Japan's unique culture. In Japan, love often takes a backseat to work. In Japan, dining is more than just eating. It's a ritual with its own rules. Yes, you heard it right. Japanese dining etiquette is a symphony of manners and traditions that might seem complicated to the uninitiated. For instance, one of the cardinal rules is to not move your plates around once they've been placed. This is out of respect for the chef's presentation. You wouldn't rearrange a painting, would you? Similarly, leaving food on your plate is seen as disrespectful. It's akin to saying you didn't enjoy the meal. Pouring your own drink? Now that's a faux pas. It's customary for others at the table to fill your cup. and you to fill theirs. This rule fosters a sense of community and camaraderie. These traditions may seem complex, but they're deeply rooted in Japanese culture, emphasizing respect, gratitude, community, and above all, the art of enjoying a meal. In Japan, a meal is a symphony of manners and traditions. Slurping your noodles or soup in Japan isn't rude. It's a sign of enjoyment. Picture this. You're in a cozy ramen shop, the aroma of the broth filling the air, and all around you is the harmonious sound of slurping. Where in many cultures, this might be seen as a faux pas, in Japan, it's a symphony of appreciation. This is a fascinating cultural difference that reveals a lot about Japanese dining etiquette. Slurping is not just tolerated, it's encouraged. It's a way of communicating to the chef that you're enjoying their creation. It's like saying, "This is delicious," without uttering a word. The action of slurping also has a practical purpose. It cools down the hot noodles before they enter your mouth, and it enhances the flavor by mixing air with the noodles. So next time you find yourself in Japan, seated in front of a steaming bowl of ramen, remember, in Japan, slurping is the highest form of flattery. Japan boasts one of the highest life expectancies in the world. This remarkable achievement is not a product of chance, but the result of a harmonious blend of factors. The Japanese diet, for instance, is renowned for its health benefits. Rich in fish, tofu, vegetables, and other nutrient-dense foods, it plays a significant role in promoting longevity. Equally important is the country's healthcare system, globally recognized for its efficiency and accessibility, ensuring that citizens receive quality care throughout their lives. But there's more to it than just physical health. The Japanese culture of ikigai, meaning reason for being, encourages individuals to find joy and purpose in life, thereby contributing to their mental well-being. Moreover, Japan's strong sense of community and respect for the elderly provide a supportive environment for aging populations. In Japan, living a long and healthy life is more than just a possibility. It's an expectation, a testament to the nation's commitment to health, wellness, and quality of life. Japan, a land of contradictions and traditions, always has something to surprise us with. From the naked festival of Hadaka Matsuri to the phenomenon of karoshi, the work addiction that sometimes leads to tragic outcomes, the isolation of hikikomori, and the resilience in the face of frequent earthquakes, the punctuality of the Shinkansen, the cathartic cry workshops, and the complex dynamics of extramarital affairs, the absence of begging, the legal Yakuza gangs, and the innovative capsule hotels, the norm of sleeping on the subway, the acceptance of solitude, the reversal of Valentine's Day traditions, and the intricate waste sorting system, the infrequent meetings of couples, the elaborate dining etiquette, the encouragement of slurping, and the impressive life expectancy. Each of these elements contributes to the intricate tapestry that is Japan. Whether it's the naked festival, work addiction, or unique dining etiquette, Japan never ceases to amaze. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Japan's unique characteristics.